guys and dolls, welcome back to Mighty Morphin Monday. Yup, it's time. Looking at that Pinky Zord. Pretty excited to finally have this. Get to complete my Megazord. So, yeah. Box is the same. I gotta say, though, I freaking like this thing a lot. I really like the design of this pterodactyl. Very streamlined and jet-like, but you can still tell it's you can still tell it's a pterodactyl, especially by the head here. Very cool. It's got this little mechanism I didn't realize. It has like a claw underneath that opens and closes, and you can like swoop down and scoop up the putty. It like clamps onto him, and you can carry him off and drop him in a volcano or whatever you want to do, you know. So, yeah, really digging the look of this thing. You know, again, very basic paint. It's gray and pink, just like the others. Gray and blue, or gray and black, or gray and red, whatever. But again, the detail is there. There's so much sculpt detail here. So much. Like I keep saying, I think these figures would really shine. Like, I like them as they are, but I think they would be, like, superb with a little custom paint. So, as I've touched on already, it comes with the putty. That's a little different. Well, I guess not really. They all kind of come with an accessory, don't they? I mean, they all come with their Ranger, but, you know, a couple of them come with missiles. The T-Rex comes with missiles. The Triceratops comes with missiles. The Mastodon comes with that web thing. Pinky here comes with the putty. I guess the only one that doesn't really have an accessory per se is the Sabertooth, unless you count the giant cannon that's mounted on its back that comes off. So, yeah, they pretty much all have some kind of accessory with them. Box is the same. It's got that same cool open back packaging. There's a look at it on the back here. It demonstrates the putty. You can grab it here. They're like dropping it. See, I told you they're dropping it into a volcano. Ranger in the cockpit. Really like the cockpit. Like, this is probably the most traditional cockpit design of all of them. Next would probably be come the blue and black, because they go in the head. She goes in the head. This one's really weird because it's like on the back behind the gun, and the T-Rex is a little weird because he goes into its mouth. He's essentially being eaten by the T-Rex to get in the cockpit. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Not much more to say. You guys have seen these boxes again and again, and probably again after that. A little beat up here, but I really don't care. Like, I like my legacy boxes to stay in good tact, but these open face like things, not a big deal. So, yep. There's Pinky. Let's bust this bad girl open and take a look at her. Alright, so here's Pinky out of the box. I had to change a plan and decided to do this one today instead of the pterodactyl because, I'm doing the pterodactyl instead of the pterodactyl. Yeah. No, I decided to do this one instead of the, I'm drawing a blank. The Sabertooth, jeez. Just because of convenience, the Sabertooth's all stuck right now, like with 4 other dino Zords. I had this one right here on hand, so I'm like, you know what, let me just film the second half of this now that it's open and just knock that out, and we'll do that for Mighty Morphin Monday. So, here it is. As I've stated previously, I freaking love this design. That thing is way cool looking. Very intimidating, really. It's like, yeah, I'm a badass, you know, what is essentially a bird of prey. Pterodactyls were actually pretty hardcore, kind of mean, it seems, and very aggressive, and they were meat eaters most of the time. So, yeah, pterodactyls are actually kind of cool. But, you know, when you got a pterodactyl that's like, hey, I'm a pterodactyl. Like, my mom was a pterodactyl, and my dad was like a stealth fighter jet, so look the fudge out. No, I don't know, but I really like the look of this thing. Way cool. It don't do much. Sorry, everybody knows. I'm getting sick. It's horrible. I should actually be really sick, but I've been eating lots of fruits and veggies, and I think that's helping. But these pop off like so, because these just actually attach to the Megazord like this. They just, this little nub here attaches into its back. So the body of the Zord is not actually used which I thought was weird. I figured they could just like do something like this, like have it lock in the back, just like that, like the Falcon Zord used to on the Ninja Zord, something like that. So, but no, in keeping with the tradition of all the figures and their mix and match, pull apart thing they're doing, the wings just come apart and snap off. So, not too much to this thing. There's its claw feet right there. You can use those to grab the putty. The putty does not stand up good at all. He does not want to stand. You can see him down there. And we'll swoop in and... There. As I said before, now we can just fly over a volcano and... drop him off. Yeah, this thing is awkward to film. It's not high enough. Like, the other ones look so great on camera when they're just sitting here, especially the 2 feet. So here's the putty it comes with. Little arm articulation, you know, nothing too great. I really dig these putties, though. You know, they're not actual, like, little guys made out of clay or putty, but rather they're made of, like, earth, and you can see they get, like, chunks of stuff in them. Like, I don't know what that thing is here. And he's got like wires and big pieces of. In the commercials, you see him briefly. They're like made from the earth. There's that scene with Rita walking through that town, and she touches her staff to the ground, and putties form out of earth, like, you know, dirt, and the road that she's on. I think they're really cool. Excuse me. I really dig these. This new update on the putties. I think they're certainly going to be much more menacing and frightening than the original putties ever could have hoped to be. I mean, I love putties and I love Power Rangers, but them putties, man, they were a joke, really. I mean, they weren't intimidating, but they were always entertaining. Here's a little Pink Ranger that comes with it. Why won't you focus? I don't get this camera. Like, no, I'm gonna focus on the thing in the background. So there she is. I'm actually impressed by these little figures. They're pretty detailed for how friggin' tiny they are, because they are tiny. Maybe an inch tall, maybe a hair more, but the legs move, of course, so she can sit down to get in the cockpit, and then her arms also move. They're little, they're tiny guys, so... Yep, here's another look at this thing. I'll give you guys a close-up look. Like I said, lots of really nice sculpt work on this, just like all the others. Just needs a little love in the paint department, and they could look awesome. Especially if you, if you took this and painted all this silver stuff, a more metallic silver, and then added in like the blue glowing, which that's the morphin grid like power that's flowing through them in the Ranger suits. If you could actually get those details on here, mwah, like they'd be just more phenomenal looking. There's no better word for it. So there's a look at the Pinky Zord. I've taken to calling her that quite a bit. Pinky. Flip that cockpit up. Let's put Pinky inside. Boom. Pinky and the Pinky Zord. So, yeah, there's really not much more to say about this. I think this is probably the most minimal of the Zords in terms of what they do and what's going on with them. So, next would probably be the Sabretooth. Very, very minimal transformation. With that thing. In fact, both the Sabretooth and the Pterodactyl come with pieces that you remove and you don't use. They just sit off to the side. Everything from the T-Rex, everything from the Triceratops, and everything from the Mastodon are all used. When they're transformed into their body part form, there's not a part of them that is still not used. The T-Rex's tail becomes a sword. The head actually plugs into the back of the Zord, which I just thought was really weird. Like, why? But yeah, this one is probably the most minimal. I mean, all you do is pop these wings off and stick them on the back of the Zord, and that's all Pinky really gets to contribute. So, which I guess really originally she was nothing more, kind of more useless. Really, she was just a chest plate. That's all the Pterodactyl originally was. So at least this kind of makes more sense to me, really, thinking about it like that. The original Pterodactyl was a chest plate. Well, okay. This makes more sense to me, utilizing its wings and having a Zord that can fly, which Goldar can fly. And since Goldar is going to be the Zord's main opposition, from what we've seen in the trailers, Goldar can fly. So therefore, the Zord is going to have to fly to be able to take him on. So yeah, interesting. It's probably one of the biggest changes to the Megazord, was the fact that this one can fly. Which I think is cool. I mean, a Power Ranger Zord should fly. Otherwise, all you need is a winged villain, and whoop, game over. So, yeah, that's it, guys. Not much to say about this girl. Very cool looking, but very minimalistic in what she does. But she's going to look grand attached to the rest of the Zord, which I'm going to do right now. It's been waiting. It's time. You guys will see it soon enough. I'm sure plenty of you have already seen it, but not here on the Toyland. So, yeah. Thanks as always for the tune-in, guys. You know I appreciate it. And until next time, keep on rocking.